Buried is an interactive story. The plot will change based on the choices you make. The story is broken into 5 chapters. Play straight through, or at your own pace. There's no waiting and no pauses. Enjoy and choose wisely. So, hello everybody and welcome to a brand new video. This is me, and we're going to be trying out something else, and it's going to be a weird little story horror game, which I found on the App Store, which is interesting. And I want to go and try it out. It looks interesting, so I'm going to go and try it out, because I usually don't do these types of games where you read things. It's really hard, but we're going to try and see if my reading voice is in handy, so let's begin. The noise, though, I love that. Okay, here we go. I'm going to put my face cam down here so I can actually read it. I opened my eyes, and the first thing I want to do is scream. I'm flat on my back, everything seems to hurt. The trees overhead look familiar. It's a clear night sky, almost beautiful. Except for the fact that this means I've been out cold for at least 6 hours. But there's something wrong. I don't remember what, but something happened, and my head, my God, my head, it hurts, and a ringing in my ears. Was there an accident? An explosion? I think I remember Dennis screaming, but after that, I can't remember. As I sit up, I notice that my hard hat has been thrown off. I look around the area, but it's not there. It feels strange to go anywhere without my hard hat, but I've got to find the other members of the crew. They could be in danger. I'm going to say, forget the hat and search for the crew members. I decide my hat can wait until I figure out what's going on. I get up and take a look around the logging site. I smell something burning and don't hear any engines running. Wait, something isn't right. Was it the bulldozer? Maybe the dang thing overheated for the last time. Maybe the engine finally blew. What a mess. Well, maybe I'm jumping to conclusions. Only the one way to find out, I guess. I walk over to the center of the logging site and don't like what I see. Okay, so this is like a story-based thing where you have choices to make, like a Telltale game, but it's like story and you have to read it all. It's cool. Let's go and continue. And let's go see what's next. Okay, here. The logging site looks like a bomb was detonated right in the center. I don't know where to start. In one load we had managed to stack on a truck for the day. As I returned, the trailer had been in the logs hanging off the back. Where the heck is everyone? My head is killing me, and this ringing in my ears, I can't hear anything. Not birds, not my footsteps, nothing. And makes me wonder if I hit my head after my hard hat flew off. I run through a quick mental checklist to make sure my brain is still working. My name is Roger Hastings. I'm 41 years old. The year is 2017. I own a small logging company, and we've been logging in this strip of Kentucky woodland for almost a month now. Okay, so my brain works. That's a relief, but it also makes me fearful, because something is certainly not right here. I look around the logging site, my mind trying to figure out what has happened. Just about every piece of equipment has been overturned or tilted. Okay, so if we're going to look at anything, is the truck talking about the dump truck thing that he was talking about before? Because I feel like that would be better to look at, so I'm going to go ahead and look. Let's be unique and look at the debris first, why not? There are bits of debris everywhere. There are fragments of the 5-gallon bucket I keep ore wags in, a loose salt chain, in an overturned gas canister. Had there been an explosion, all the fuel on site would have started to fire, but there's no charring or burning, nothing. I walked through the area where Dennis had been working. From the looks of it, he'd been moving slowly. He'd only taken down 4 trees today. His mental lunchbox is open, and an indicator that he had been taking an early break. But he's not here. No one is here. Where the heck is everyone? I could try to make a call on my cell phone, but its battery is almost running out really low. Not that it matters. The reception is crap out here. Yell out. I'm not. Well, actually, never mind. That's bad. I didn't want to do that. Hey, guys! Where's everyone? Tony, Dennis, Frank, Joel? But their names fall flat among the wreckage. I get nothing, other than scaring away a few birds overhead. Might as well start walking and try to find some answers. The highway is almost a mile back through the woods down the gravel road we used to reach the site. Maybe the crew ran that way for help, but why would they have left me? Were they scared? Out of sorts? Maybe I can catch up to them. But with my truck turned over on its side, it looks like I'll be walking. Oh, God. I can't remember what I was doing before walking up on my back. before waking up on my back. Wait, what's that underneath the bulldozer? Oh my god, it's a leg. It has to be either Tony or Dennis. The dozer looks like an unstable leg and might roll some more. Might not be safe to get close, but at the same time, I can't just leave him there. Let's good luck. Hey, I yell. Are you okay? Are you alive? I skip over the stray logs and wrecked equipment to get closer. Seeing the dozer teeter makes me think maybe I should have grabbed my hat. I could see a bit more of the leg. The jeans are soaked in blood. I recognize the work boots. It's clearly Tony. His leg has been at an impossible angle, nearly crushed flat. The closer I get, the more apparent it becomes that Tony didn't survive. What kind of question is this? Leave the body alone, or pull the body out. If I was in the situation, me, being the scaredy cat I am, would not pull the body out. Because that, in turn, is going to turn over the bulldozer. Yeah, we're not pulling the body out. There's nothing I can do for him now. I start to go back slowly. In my shock, I stumble by accidentally tripping off the stray logs. I bang my head hard on the logs. As I fall instantly, I can feel a massive lump forming on my back of my head. There's why I need that. Dang, why didn't I grab my hard hat? But what hurts more is the realization that Tony is dead. Looking at him, I feel something rising up in my throat, and I don't know if it's a scream or vomit, but I have to push it away. If I lose my cool right now, there are too many questions that will go unanswered. I can't believe this, Tony. He had 2 boys. He coached his oldest son's baseball team. He was the hardest worker I had, and was the one with honest and reliable men I knew. This isn't right. I can't stay here. I have to find Dennis, Frank, and Joe. I have to find out what happened here. Continue. As I walk through the stacks of logs from the last week or so of work, everything feels frozen. This high-pitched sound in my ears it's terrible. It keeps happening every few seconds, and the sound like it's coming from far away. I can't help but wonder, is it my ears or is it something else? The silence out there is creepy, and there's a smell like an atmosphere after a bad summer storm. I might as well admit it. I am a little scared. Everyone is missing, and it's dead quiet out here. There doesn't even just seem to be a breeze to rustle the leaves and branches. My right knee hurts like heck. My head was hurting so bad before that I never even noticed the pain in my knees. I must have heard it during during the what accident or wait, is that Dennis? I see him sitting on the ground motionless about 30 feet away. He says, is that Dennis? It could not be Dennis, it could be someone else, but I'm gonna walk up to him. He's just sitting there, not moving. I walk up slowly next to him. Dennis? Hey man, can you hear me? So he looks up at me from the ground, clearly coming out of a daze. Yeah, Roger, I hear you, he says. Dennis is built like a wrestler, and he has a tough personality match. But in this moment, he looks disoriented and not even a little anxious. Though I'm glad to see him, and the fear of a usually confident face is alarming. What the heck happened? What's going on? I don't know. The crew is missing. We can't just go to assumptions saying it's an explosion. Missing, Dennis says. Where do you think they gone? I'm not sure, I say. But it has me pretty freaked out. Something's not right here. Still sitting on the ground, he looks up around the woods, as if she's just understanding the severity of the situation. The equipment was overturned, the dozers too, I say, wiping my forehead. You okay? I ask him. Yeah, just shaken up. Me too. This might be the most intimate conversation Dennis and I have ever had. Ollie and I have always been on good terms. We've never been particularly close. I've always respected him, though. Sure, he's come to work a few times looking like he'd been in a bar fight the night before, but I've also seen him do an enthusiastic impression of a dinosaur as he played with Tony's kids while they waited for their dad to finish up his shift. It's then that it hits me. Dennis and Tony were good friends. I'm not sure I want to rattle him with the news of Tony's death right now, but not before we know what's going on, but he has the right to know. I'm telling him I'm not going to be that stupid. You were up front with Dennis about Toby. Dennis, eyes fixated on me, startled. He was crushed underneath the desert, I say. Like he was trying to understand what I said. His eyes narrow and his bottom lip covers, as he says, and I can tell that he is fighting back tears. He and Tony had been tied, almost like brothers. Hey, he asked quickly, as if he was trying to escape the reality of Tony's death. Did you see that light? No, I say. What did you see? I don't even know, Roger. He says it was like this flare of white light. It came right up to out of the ground like an explosion. So there was an explosion, I say. Maybe it was some equipment. This is no equipment, Dennis interrupts. Agitated, this huge ball of light come right at me out of the dang ground. What did it look like? Where did it go? Like looking into the sun, he says. It just feels like someone stabbed me in the eyes with a hot knife. When? I'm not sure, he answers, but I had finished about 10 trees for the day, and I was about to top one. That's when it happened. You were there almost done with 10 trees, I ask. Yeah, he says, looking at the ground. You know, I wouldn't want to take a lunch break until I was done. And that's when the light blew up. Why? You don't believe me? I believe you. You believe Dennis's story. He saw what he said. He said he saw what he saw. I think to myself, he has no reason to lie about this. My God, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine, he says. But if I'm honest with it scared me pretty bad. And if it's all the same to you, I'd like to get the heck out of here. We both stand up and start heading towards the road. It isn't until we start moving that I see Dennis is wounded. His right side is coated in blood, the red seeping through his blue work shirt. There are splatters of it here and there, but also a very large red splotch that makes me worry. Are you in a lot of pain, dude? How'd you get the injury? I'm just gonna ask that. I'm not gonna ask. Are you in pain, dude? Of course he's in pain. I'm not sure, Dennis replies. I must have gotten thrown or hurt somehow from that light. It's then that I notice that the strange ringing noise is still filling the air. Hey, I say, stopping. Do you hear that high-pitched ringing noise every once in a while? Dennis looks scared when I ask him this question, and he just nods. I thought it was just me, he says. He looks out of sorts and uncertain. I've never seen him like this before. It's obvious that he's looking for some reassurance. Even though I'm his boss, there's something very unnerving about this. We'll be okay. It's probably nothing. It's freaking me out. I'm sure I sound scared, but I don't really care. I look at Dennis and see that my confusion and fear have seeped into him, and it is the disappointment in his expression as well. I think so. It's as if he expects me to be stronger, assure him that we're fine and nothing out of the ordinary is happening. We both start moving forward and don't say another word. Did you try to call Frank? Dennis asked. I know he had this cell on him today. Not yet. Luckily, I still have some battery left. I could pull out my cell phone and call Frank. Happily, I didn't make that call to Dennis earlier. It rings up, but he doesn't pick up. But then I hear his phone go off behind the stack of logs. Dennis and I catch each other a look. As the phone goes to voicemail, I hang up and we walk behind the logs to find Frank's phone on the ground abandoned. We look around for Frank, but find nothing, not a single trace. It's then I start to notice, really odd, a 10-foot wide hole in the ground right near where the phone was. But there's no stray piles of removed dirt or rocks. It's clean, something smoothly dug, cutting into the earth wide, but only a few feet deep. It looks unnatural, like the ground was just deleted, no shovels or diggers used. Dennis walks over to it. This looks like a hole, the same kind of hole where I saw that light come from. The ground, he muses himself. I say nothing, my mind is spinning, but I don't know what to think. We need to get out of here, Dennis mutters. At the moment, that ringing noise carries through the forest again, sending a shiver down my spine. Dennis is right. There's something strange going on here, and we might be safe here. But that ringing sound could be a clue to where the rest of the crew went. Guess here's some choices. No. Let's check out the sound. Agreed. Let's get away from here. Don't know the situation. Let's get the heck away from here. You decided to avoid the sound. With that, we turn and start walking to the west in the direction that I'm pretty certain leads to the road. That's another part of it done. Let's continue. Okay, after just a minute. It's sort of embarrassing. I have been a logger for nearly 15 years, but I'm finding it easy to get lost in the woods. These woods, my trees are so thick in a place that the moonlight doesn't even reach the ground. It's easy to get turned around. My only hope is that I can find the overgrown dirt road that will lead us back to the highway. You sure we're heading the right way? Dennis asks. Pretty sure, I say. I turn to him and see him that he's clearly in pain. It's at this moment that we come upon another one of those smooth holes. This is one even stranger because a nearby tree also has a chunk cut out of it. Their arc goes smoothly through the ground and then up through the tree trunk, like a cartoon wrecking ball blasting through both of them. What the heck are these things? Dennis whispers to himself. He takes a step down into the hole, his boots creating imperfections in the shape like footprints on the dune sandstone. Step down into it, walk around the perimeter. I walk along the edges, each step sending pebbles down into the hole, running in its perfect shape. It's amazed at how smooth it is. Even rocks that are under the earth have been sheared to fit the spherical shape. But as I'm noticing this, I notice Dennis' feet start to sag. Dennis, get out. I start, but I don't finish before he can react. He's getting given. The ground is giving way and he's falling. I try to step back, but the fissure that opens up, designating the ground beneath my feet. I cry out in surprise and can barely hear Dennis is letting out a curse as we go down into the earth. That was a short one. Okie dokie then. Now we're into a hole now, apparently. The fall isn't a long one, but when I hit something a few seconds later, it hurts like heck. The wind goes rushing out of me when I hit the sharp pain fast in me. What the heck? I say once my breath is back. Beside me, Dennis is slowly rolling over to get to his feet. I look up to see the hole in the ground where we fell through. It looks to be over 10 feet over our heads. It's completely dark. I feel like this game's killing me. I look up to see in the hole in the ground where we fell through. It looks over 10 feet. It's completely dark, but there's a small flicker of light further into the cave, and a solid wall of rock behind us. Looks like the only way out, or further down the cave, or up through the way we fell in. Thanks for that, Mr. Game. Okay, my heart is racing right now. Don't know why. It's the music. It's probably the music, to be honest with you. This might be able to boost me up there, but with his injury, I'm not sure how stable he is. He might drop me. It's better to try than not to try, to be honest with you. You think you can hoist me up there? Sure, he still looks out of sorts, but he weighs at least 30 pounds more than me. I'd have a hard time trying to lift him. We can try, he says. He drops to one knee and cups his hands together, making a small platform. I step into it, and he lifts me as well as he can. When I am off the ground, his other hand comes up and catches me by the waist. Then both of his hands are on my waist. He lifts me up there. I am able to just barely grab into the edge of the hole. I feel the grass in my fingers and the dirt in my fingernails. But at the moment I am about to pull myself up, the ground beneath my hands give way and I go falling again. And I strike Dennis on the way down, and we both go to the ground. I feel my ankles twist in the fall, and it instantly starts pulsing in pain, and as I get to my feet. It was a dumb idea anyway, Dennis said, slightly annoyed. Looks like we're going that way, I say as I nurse my ankle and point towards the light. As we turned ahead into the cave, I take a closer look at the light further ahead and realize it's artificial. We both start heading towards it instinctively. And as we step into the light, panic gently gnaws at me because that's what I'm seeing makes absolutely no sense. It's a longer cave or hole. It's a long, sparsely lit corridor. It's a longer cave or hole. It's a long, sparsely lit corridor. Okay. Continue. This is not weird at all. It's a massive corridor, and in fact, it seems to go on forever. This corridor is mostly dark with emergency lights everywhere, 10 feet or so. I turn to my left and see that there's a door which appears to lead upwards to outside, but it's locked tight. I push as hard as I can, but no luck. Dennis, help me with this. I say. He comes up over to the door. We try to get the door open, but it doesn't budge. For some reason, someone doesn't want people getting out of here. Looks like we're heading down the hallway. Tiptoe quietly, because we're not going to make any noise. This could be some sort of weird place where people could kill us inside. I feel like a ghost, like a truly have no business being here. Dennis leans on the support. We move slowly, our feet not making a sound. If anyone is in here, I want to make sure they don't hear us. We tiptoe forward as softly as we can. I would carry Dennis to the far end of the otherwise featureless place. I see a flight of concrete stairs leading down. I have set Dennis down on the floor. He's killing me. Plus, my ankle got really banged up when we tried to climb out of that hole. It needs a break. Dennis, are you okay? Stop worrying, man. He says, I'll be okay. I just need a minute to rest, but looking at him, I'm not so sure. I can still hear the ringing noise from every so often. coming from somewhere in here. I look ahead at the concrete stairs pointing towards them so that Dennis sees them. Can you make it out down the stairs? I ask. He stands up slowly and is visibly making an effort to not fall back down. Yeah, he says, and sounds a little irritated. He starts for the stairs without me, and I have no choice but to follow. We approach the steps, and by just looking at them, I get the sense that we're crossing some sort of line here. There may very well be no going back. As I head down the stairs, I notice that they look aged. That ding ringing noise is somewhere below, louder than ever. I feel like I'm walking down into the cellar of a haunted house, the light becoming scarce as the stairs take a slight turn. I can feel the temperature drop. Dennis makes it a few steps down before he's leaning on the wall. He's breathing like he's just finished a marathon. No, we're gonna give him a break. I don't want to kill him or something, because I don't know if that's even the thing you can do in this game. Let's take a break, I say, putting my hand towards his shoulder to help steady him. Dennis lets out a sigh. Thanks. I don't feel too great, boss. As we both squat down on the stair, my mind seems to lock in on the unknown fate of the rest of my crew. Frank is married, and I met his wife a few times, a nice woman with a huge laugh. My heart sags a bit when I realize I might never again get to hear him belting out classic rock tunes during lunch breaks. Joe, well, I don't know too much about him. He's 22 years old, and he's considering community college. His folks are deadbeats, so he has been providing for himself since the age of 16 or so. Maybe I can still find them and still get to hear Frank singing in his deep baritone voice after a few too many drinks. After a few moments, Dennis says, "All right, let's keep going." We both stand up, leaning on each other. I have to make Dennis stay behind me as I stick my foot out in search of the next step. I can't help feeling like a child. As very powerful fear seizes me. I'm expecting a monster to reach out in the darkness, slicing into my throat. After what feels like forever, we come to the bottom of the stairs. We're closer to that ringing noise now. A door sits securely in the wall and looks like it's just as out of place here as I feel. A silver of light sees through, illuminating the area. The door is what looks like a panel with lots of labels and lights. Small embossed print above the panel says Level 1 Entrance Gate Transport Sector, and there's a bottom button with no label. You're not going to press a button without inspecting the label. That's an idiot. That's an idiot move right there. The panel looks like a diagnostic or alert system out of some kind. Each label meant to communicate some status. Lockdown engaged, experiment in progress, shutdown engaged. Those all appear to be off, but one of the phases is a slowly blinking red light next to it, the one only powered light on this whole thing. Abnormal entity breach. What the heck? I slowly push the doors open when Dennis suddenly steps in front of me, taking the lead. Let's go, he says. I want to find out what the heck this place is. As Dennis walks through, that ringing or beeping or whatever it is gets a little louder. The door closes behind us with a clink. I can't help but notice that a wobble in Dennis's step as he lets out a grunt. You sure you're healthy enough to go going, I ask. It doesn't matter. I don't want to be in the woods right now. He seems scared, something I've never seen before. Angry, yes. Upset, yes. But Dennis is never scared. What did you see? I don't know what it was, boss. It was like someone had left a radio on, crackling, but we don't have any radios on that site. At that site, I don't know. It was like something in the forest was moving. I give him a doubtful look, and he casts his eyes to the ground, frustrated. I know how it sounds, he says, but I know what I felt. It was like walking into a funeral parlor feeling, death and gloom everywhere. I've been so preoccupied with my own fear that I nearly forgot about the ringing noise. It became just background noise. We took a few more steps, and I could see where we are. It makes no sense. Yet another thing that simply seems out of place. The shapes and muted colors of metal are easy to identify, but it doesn't belong here. This is the end of chapter 1, everybody. Thank you so much for watching this video, because this is going to be 5 chapters, so 5 episodes, obviously. That's the end of chapter 1. I'm really happy that I got that over with. And I don't think I can read anymore. Oh, my voice is killing me right now. So we're just going to go ahead and end it off here. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and all the other stuff they usually say at the end of the videos. And, of course, I'll see you in the next one. Also, I may disable Facecam, mostly because of the fact that, well, it's hard to read with it on. And the other fact is it may just take away from the experience for you guys, and I don't want that to happen, so I may just take it away in general. We could take away 2 annoyances in 1. So thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, guys.